Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you why we collect all the information that we do and why our SOP is as detailed as it is. Now, I'm sure everything that I said about the content and including the iframes and the schema and all that in the YACSS and the previous videos makes sense to you. I just want to wrap everything up and put a bow around it so you'll understand why we're doing these. And this is one of the structures of our yak stacks that we do. And this is I can't say I invented it. I got most of this from Jesper, um, who owns YACSS. And he's been really good to us, all the users, about providing information on how to use YACSS to be successful. And I have gone in my own direction in some ways and tested some different things. And I've gone my own way in content and what I actually publish in YACSS and what I actually publish in Schema Writer, and kind of done my own thing on that. And we're getting amazing results. And not only are we getting amazing results, but you can hand this SOP and list of video tutorials and written SOPs over to your VAs who use or who are using English as a second language, and take all the mystery out of the process. We all know that SEO is it, it can be confusing even if you're working in your first language, in your mother tongue. But it's even doubly more so if you don't understand the nuances of some of the techniques and concepts that we use. And that's why I put everything together in so much detail that I do. And so now I want to show you the overview of how we publish all of that content that I showed you examples of in the previous videos. So let's go here. So this would be our target URL or money page. This is just an example of a money page. And what we're doing here is sending Yak stacks. It's really I call these branded stacks because all of our anchor text in every one of these is branded to whatever the domain is. If your domain is, say, in this example, Panama City Dolphin Safari Tours, then we are using Panama City Dolphin Safari Tours as the key phrase for the anchor text. So branding, which gives Google the association that it's looking for. Things have changed a lot in 2024, and branding is now becoming more important than keyword, even though we're using almost an EMD, an exact match domain. You can still brand your exact match domain if that's what your corporate documents say and that's what your website says. You can still use an exact match domain or a key phrase that has a lot of search volume as your brand. So, what we do is all we use every cloud platform that YACSS has access to. And I think that's at 16 or 17 right now, at the time that I'm shooting this video in November of 24. And so the first thing we do is we build a Google site. And I'll just zoom in here a little bit so you can see what's going on. So we'll build a Google site, and with all of that content that you saw that we collect, we put all of that content on this Google site, and it links to the money page. Okay. And then we build a cloud stack from this platform, another platform, on and so forth, until we have 5 that are linking to the Google site. Okay. So the Google site's acting as a buffer here, but it's also getting branded signals from the cloud stacks and then sending a branded signal back to the money page. So we'll come back out here and we'll zoom back in on this leg. And you can see these are all going to be different platforms. Up Cloud, S3, Wasabi, NeoCities, Oracle, IBM, DreamHost. And so we'll build all of these and go straight to the money page. Okay, so we're getting different signals here. We're getting a Google site, then we're getting uh, links directly from the cloud stacks, and we got cloud stacks going to the Google site. And then over here we build, and these are all, I got all of these from Jesper, and they're still working. So we build these 5 satellites, or parasite, you might call them parasite sites. So we will use a lot of that content that you see that we collected. And just as a side note, I didn't show you an example of how we generate actual articles or written content or text and H tags and titles. That's something that I'll be able to show you privately, but I can't show you in a public video. So we'll get to that if you still have an interest for what we're doing here, and I'll help you with that process SOP as well. So we build these, and we have an SOP for how we build them, and then we send one cloud stack from a different platform here, and to this one, so on and so forth. So we've got a real good mix of signals that we're sending to the money site, and all of that content. We're literally building 16 or 17 cloud websites, and then 5 is 22, and then 23. So we're really building 23 websites in this branded stack, and it has a phenomenal effect. Can we get the same effect if we collected and published less content? Maybe, maybe it depends on the level of your competition, because when you are at the level where you would need an SOP system like what I've shown you here, you already know how to manipulate Google. Manipulating Google is the easy part. Beating the competition is the difficult part. And that's when we go so far and above what most other people are willing to do. And that's how we win number one rankings for some very, very profitable keywords for ourselves and for clients. So if you think that maybe we spend too much time collecting content, creating content, or collecting data from Google or Wikipedia, maybe that may be true. But if it's too much, you're going to by using this process and this layout and the way we do these branded stacks, you're going to send your money page to number one, and it's going to stick. If you have medium competition, it's going to go to number one and it's going to stick. And if you have, if you have low competition, of course, it's going to go to number one and stick too. So this is almost, with the exception of the most competitive niches, Um, this is going to send your money page, your target URL, to the front page, if not all the way to the top in most cases. And that's why we build them this way. It gives us a great foundation. Then we can turn around and we can hit all of these outer all of these outer URLs. We can hit them with Scrapebox, XRunner, GSA, uh, any kind of links that you want to send to them to power these up even a little bit more and push that target URL on closer to the top. But my preference is, you know, if the old saying, if you've got an hour to cut down a huge tree with an axe, you should spend 45 minutes of that hour sharpening your axe. So the preparation part, the content creation and the content gathering is the preparation part of the process. Cutting down the tree is adding all that information in the schema writer and then into YACSS and then hitting the publish button. So that's the way I like to think of it. That's the approach that we take, and we've been very successful in driving our target URLs to the front page from complete obscurity, or from page 3 all the way to number 1 on page 1. So hopefully this ties everything in together and demonstrates that the level of detail we've gone into in our SOPs for content creation, content aggregation, for schema info and publishing and YACSS publishing. Hopefully this will help explain everything that we're trying to do and show you why we do everything that we do. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me and let me know. And I appreciate you watching the video.